Hey, whoever is on, I am just trying to get everything set up. Just waiting to see if more people come on. If you could let me know who you are in the chat, because I can't see who joined. So just say hi in the chat if you can while I keep getting ready. Let me know too if you can hear me okay. I just want to do a sound check, make sure everybody can hear me. If you're there, if you could please let me know whether you can hear me or not, or if I should put my microphone on, or what I should do. So if you are watching live, please let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. We got 4 people coming on. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. It's so good to see you. This isn't going to be a pleasant conversation that I'm going to be having today, but can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. I'm so glad to see you too. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube and really kind of doing any kind of videos. My channel is blowing up like crazy, though I missed you too, sweetie. Hi, Juanita. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. I think I'm just gonna wait just a couple more. I don't want to wait too long. I had a drink here and now I don't know where I did with it. I'm like, hold on. Okay. No, I got it. All right. I haven't gone live on YouTube in quite some time. I've been going live on TikTok quite a bit, especially these last couple days. I've been sharing on TikTok what's been going on here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. If you are familiar with what's going on here, if you could just let me know in the comments. Also, I want to see if I can make somebody a moderator to moderate the comments that are going to be coming in, because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate. I've already had death threats, and I'm not really going to discuss the other thing that happened because my son is listening and it kind of relates to him, and I'm not really happy about that. I might show you that a little bit later. But all right, so I have 5 people on so far. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I would really appreciate it. I know, right? And it got really ugly on TikTok yesterday, like really, really bad. And I'm actually going to show you that real quick before we get started, because I don't want to say it out loud because my son's listening. So I'm doing this on my laptop. Let me know if the quality is okay. Because I wanted to show you guys some things on my phone. I have screenshots and I just didn't know how to do that real quick, to kind of do where I'm, live in a box and I can show you all the stuff going on the screen. I think I have to do that through my editing software, and I just don't have the patience to do that right now. So bear with me. I'm going to show you this screenshot. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. This was a comment. Yes, please. I'm on TikTok all the time. Moose Jaw. Wow, Juanita, how cool. All right, well, welcome. All right, so I'm going to show you this real quick. All right, you guys ready? Can you see it? Hold on. Let me see if that helps. No? Because I want you guys to see this. No, you can't see it, can you? Crud. Hold on. Let me see if the light turns off, if that's better. Hold on. Just bear with me. I'm walking through this. Yep, hold on. All right, now let me see if the light off. Nope, still not, can't see it. Let's see. No, let's see. There we go. Maybe you can see it a little bit better there. You see that? Is it backwards? I hope your son dies so you learn a lesson. That's what that says. Did you guys see that? Did you hear me? That is the kind of hate that I have been getting. Did you see it? Okay, so you guys saw that. It's going to be hard for you to see some of than some of the images, which I want to show you, but yeah, I'm gonna let you show that. Okay, because Jennifer, you're okay. Yeah, this is the way of the world right now, and this is why I wanted to go on. If you're familiar with what's happening in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I'll just start from the beginning, just because a lot more facts are coming in relating to the shooting of Jacob Blake here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He was shot by the Kenosha police 7 times in the back. Now, I know that sounds horrible. Like, does that not sound horrible? A black man shot in the back 7 times by a white cop. That's the narrative that we're being fed. And while this happened on Sunday afternoon here in town, a video was sent to me immediately after it was taken. And I gotta take this off, I'm really hot. And everyone jumped the gun, right? Because we're all gonna jump the gun. But if you watch the video, I don't know if anybody's seen this video, you'll see that Jacob was resisting arrest. Oh my gosh, you're just hearing it now. You cannot imagine oh my God, my city's been under attack, Jennifer, for 4 days. This has been a nightmare. I am living in a war zone right now, and I'm gonna try to show you some of these pictures here soon of what my city looks like. Hopefully I'll be able to show you. I'm going back and forth to my phone. All right, so let me tell you the story about Jacob Blake. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Jacob Blake had a warrant out for his arrest for 3rd-degree sexual assault. If you know what 3rd-degree sexual assault is, it's sexually assaulting a minor between the ages of 14 and 16. Hi, Kim, welcome. So that is what 3rd-degree sexual assault is. He had also pulled out a gun on a police officer before. Hi, Karen. And he had several counts of domestic violence. So let's get into the story of what happened, because when this all came out, everybody made him out to be this good Samaritan that was trying to break up a fight between 2 girls. Oh, Kim, great, from TikTok. Yay, hi. If you're not on TikTok, you should be on TikTok. TikTok is like the place to go for information, for real news, for real information. I love TikTok so much more than any other media platform right now. But anyway, so I'm going to get back to Jacob Blake and why he was arrested. So the narrative was that he was breaking up a fight between 2 girls, and that he was this good Samaritan just doing a good deed, and all of a sudden the cops were called because of these 2 girls fighting, and he was breaking it up, and then suddenly he's just shot in the back. That's not how this story goes. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yesterday, the police scanner report came out on the call for Jacob Blake. This call was not about 2 girls fighting. This call was from one of the girls that was fighting about Jacob. He was not supposed to be there. He stole her keys from her car. Now, I have no idea where the car was that the girl's keys he had taken. He had his children in the car. Why? I have no idea. So everybody just made it sound like he was just driving along. Oh my God, 2 girls fighting. I'm going to go break it up because I'm such a great guy. That's not what happened. He was not supposed to be there. I'm going to assume he had a restraining order, because when the police scanner comes out, the dispatcher is saying he's not supposed to be there. He has a warrant for his arrest. And so they give him this breakdown of, be careful. All right, this guy, is wanted. He's been known to pull out weapons on police officers before, so be careful. So if you look in the video, and now we have 2 sides of that video now, fortunately, because the first one we only saw him, he was behind this SUV. his car, I guess, and you see the cops looking down at him, and all of a sudden Jacob gets out. They tase him. It doesn't work. He walks around the front of the car, gets in his car, and they're grabbing him. They're literally pulling him, trying to get him to get out of the car because apparently he had a weapon in the car and told the police he had a weapon in the car and he was going to get it. And so these cops are freaking out. The people there are yelling at Jacob to stop, just listen. And the cops are begging for him to listen, and he doesn't. And he's reaching under the seat where he has the weapon. They have confirmed that there was a weapon under the seat that he was going for. So the police shoot him 7 times, which I don't get. Please, I don't understand 7 times, but he's alive. Okay. They severed his spinal cord. That's all I know about what's happening now. He is alive. He's in stable condition. He will probably be paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm not going to say I'm sorry for that. I'm not, because he has raped girls. He has hurt a lot of people in this town. I'm really glad he's alive. I am. I'm very thankful that he's alive. I think karma's a bitch, and I'm sorry. I try really hard to be compassionate for people and believe in redemption. I do, but I don't think he was really, I think I froze, you guys. I think I froze. No. Hey guys. Oh no. I might have to go on my phone. You guys, hello. Can you hear me? Can you let me know if you hear me? Because I think I froze. I'm going to have to refresh, maybe. I don't know. Do I refresh? Hey guys. Are you guys there? Sorry. Okay, good. You can still hear me when I freeze. Did you see the screen freeze? Because it froze on my end. So I just want to make sure that you can at least still. Okay, good. All right, Karen, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. Juanita, thank you. Okay, so it just froze on my end. Okay, then it's just freezing for me. All right, so I'm just going to keep going then if it freezes on my end. Okay, so the he was shot 7 times in the back. As I said, he's alive. So that evening, this is I'm going to show you the picture of what the community looked like. Yeah. This is a very torn up community that's heartbroken. You see their faces? They're laughing, they're smiling, they're getting ready. Black Lives Matter. Look it. Okay, I'm going to show you the next one. Hold on, I'm going to show you the next picture. Look at how much fun they're having. Look at how much fun they're having, you guys. This is the community that's so upset that he was shot. Look at how happy they are. I don't get it. All right. I just don't understand why it went from that to hate in my streets. So Sunday night, there were protests, but it was very mild in the beginning because I believe that it was just locals that were these people probably that were like, yes, we get to go burn stuff down. So they went out, and it was very small in the beginning, but then we started seeing flyers all posted all over social media about how they were going to, I don't think I have a screenshot of that, how they were going to call in Black Lives Matter, and the name of the group is Milwaukee. Just bear with me, I have notes too. Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repressions. That was actually on TikTok that I saw. This girl was posting, calling out all these agencies or organizations to come into Kenosha Sunday night and Monday night. So this happened at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The shooting took place at 5. It was probably like 2 hours later that some of these locals were being at the courthouse and at the police station. But then when we started getting information that there were a bunch of unmarked cars driving. We had videos of people driving. I wonder if I can actually show you that video. If you guys are interested, I can show you that video. I would just have to find it real quick. Just hang on, bear with, because I'm getting a lot of information from a lot of different people. And I've got a lot of information that just happened. Okay, here it is. So you can see these cars are coming and they all have their flashers on. This is a caravan. They're basically blocking the interstate. This car here is probably the main car that's guiding all of them, okay? I'm learning so much about Black Lives Matter and how they're organized, and that's why I wanted to do this video today, because I want to share with you, because don't be surprised if you're going to have this in your town soon. I am a very small town. I live in a very small town of only 99,000 people. We are a very small community. You can drive from one end of the town to the next in like 10 minutes. So never in a million years did I think that I would see what I saw. But I was very fortunate to find one person on YouTube. His name is Reggie Incognito. And at first I hated him, but he was the only one that was live streaming on Monday night. But let me go back to Sunday night before I get ahead of myself. Sunday night, there were two gentlemen here named CJ and Andrew, and they both have their own independent media company and were filming live. They came up from Chicago, but they're from different places. They were in Chicago to try to document some of the riots that were going on in Chicago, but nothing was going on. So they were like, well, we're just going to sit in our studio and live stream and just talk to the people. But then somebody sent them the video of Jacob Blake's shooting. And so they drove up from Chicago. CJ's from Seattle and Andrew is from Minneapolis, but I love that they work as a team, even though, you know, they have their own media company. So we started watching, I started getting a whole lot of people just sending me this link to CJ and Andrew, and I started watching them. And we started watching how things started escalating very, very quickly once nightfall happened. Once it started getting dark, things started getting out of control. But it was more or less just screaming, breaking windows. They weren't really stealing a whole lot. But then Black Lives Matter rolled into town. Once Black Lives Matter came into town, you could see a total difference in how things were organized. And it's organized. So this is Sunday night. So they're on Sheridan Road by our courthouse, and just a few blocks down, our courthouse is like in a square. And there's a courtyard, a park in the middle of it called Civil Park. And there's the courthouse, the post office, an old school, my old high school, and then a paleontology museum. It's called the Dinosaur Museum. And so then it's like the square and then the court and the park in the center. But there's streets all around, but it's a square. Okay, so that's where everybody's been meeting these last few days. And that's where they met on Sunday, because just down the road, just like probably 200 feet from the courthouse, is the police station. And of course, that was their target. We started having police coming from all of the surrounding areas, SWAT teams coming from Racine, Sheboygan, and other towns that are nearby. And my friend Chris actually was busing them in that night. And so that's kind of when I knew things were going downhill. My friend said, hey, I'm busing police officers from out of town. And that's kind of when I knew things were going down. So I'm watching Andrew Mercado, and all of a sudden I see they're in front of an old church, my mom's old church, St. James, which is right across the street on the other side of my old high school. And before I know it, I see something very unique. So St. James is tearing down a building, and so they have a lot of rubble there, but they also have like the trailer flatbeds and stuff. I don't know if we visited that church. No, that was St. Andrews, I think. St. James is by the courthouse and all that. That was my mom's church when she passed away. So all of a sudden I see people in black shirts, black pants, and then of course the black scarves. And they pull this trailer bed out from St. James parking lot. They put it right in the middle of the road. They put the blocks underneath it to stop it from being moved. There was something really well oiled and organized about this. And I thought, oh my gosh, they're there. They're here. This is going to go down and this is going to go bad. And it went really bad. They lit a couple of cars on fire because across the street from St. James parking lot, there's actually a used car lot and a community church called Bradford Community Church. Outside of the church was a Black Lives Matter sign. It said Black Lives Matter. They burnt it down to the ground. There's melted. Let me see if I can get the picture of the melted sign so you can see that. So please just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let me see. All right, so here is the Black Lives Matter sign. I don't know if you'll be able to see that good or anything, but let me see. This is, hold on. Sorry, please bear with me. This is also some of the burned up sign. This is the car lot I went to the next day. Let me see. I'm trying to get to those pictures. Here you go. Isn't this pretty? This poor guy lost, these were used cars and they burnt them to the ground. These cars were exploding all night because they lit one on fire, which was right underneath that Black Lives Matter sign. And no, appeasement does not work. Trust me. So that car blew up, caught the next car on fire, caught the next car on fire. Police are just driving by on the other side of the road. Finally, the fire department shows up, but they literally put a puddle there and drive off. And one of the guys on the live feed says, what's going on? Well, before they know it, they start seeing that the trees that were in between the car lot and the church were going to catch on fire and probably catch the church on fire. And CJ, I didn't know his name at the time, CJ is screaming into the phone, we got to put out this fire, we got to put out this fire. And he's trying. He's like rolling barrels and he's trying to find water and he can't find water anywhere. And he says over the live feed, please somebody call the police department, the fire department, and have them come here. So I did. I got on the phone and I'm like, the church is on fire, and I give them Bradford Community Church, and they're like, well, we can't get there. I'm like, why? They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, somebody get there. And she's like, well, we're trying to get there to put some water on it. I said, put some water on it, put the damn fire out. And I hung up. So at that point, I had been putting together jugs of water just in case. And I had them lined up all in my dining room. And I told my husband, Jared, I said, put those in my car. I'm going to put out a fire. That's it. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. This is my city. My city's burning. I am not going to let that church burn. Whether or not I agree with the religion or not, it doesn't matter. I'm all about trying to save my city. So I get in my car. It's probably like 3:15, 3:30 in the morning. And I'm doing 70 miles an hour all the way down to this church. I don't stop for any stop signs. I don't stop for any stop lights because I know none of the cops are out anyway looking for that. They're like all congregated in front of the courthouse. And so I just flew down there. And by the time I got there, the fire department was there. There were cars exploding, just like guys like you would see in a movie. Like seriously, these cars were popping. It was like pop, 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 pop everywhere. And it was a nightmare, Jennifer. It was the most craziest thing I've seen. So I see one of the girls that they were with. I'm like, what's going on? I got this water in the back of my truck. What do I help? What do I do? She's like, CJ's over there. Andrew, I don't know where Andrew went. And the next thing I know, I see CJ. And I walk up to him. I'm like, dude, are you all right? Like, dude, you're putting out this fire by yourself. It's so awesome. I'm like, I brought water for you. And he said, he just hugged me. We both hugged each other and we both just crumbled in each other's arms. We were both hysterically like heaving, crying. This guy who's been in Minneapolis, Seattle, Portland, to all those riots, he said, this is by far the worst I've ever seen. And for him saying this, I was like, oh my God. And we're crying, we're holding each other, we're crying. And so I gave him a jug of the water because he was so thirsty and he was sweating, he was hot. And then Andrew came up and he was actually an ex-military. He served in Iraq. And so even he said, this is nuts. Like, this is worse than the war. Like what he was seeing. And they were shocked. These are guys that go out and document these protests everywhere. And they were shocked by what was happening to our city. That was on Sunday night. I finally left. I gave them both a jug of water and I left. I went home and I watched them until about 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't sleep for the rest of the day. I went and I took the pictures on Monday morning. It was a disaster. It was a complete war zone. There was glass everywhere downtown. They were boarding everything up because the rumor was Black Lives Matter was on their way. There was a caravan of about 1,100 cars on their way to my city. Just bear with me. Monday night was, oh man. All right. Bear with me, okay, please. Okay. Monday night was a nightmare. We were all under curfew. We were told not to leave the house. This is when I ran into Reggie Incognito, because he was the only one that was filming in the middle of the day. CJ and Andrew had went back to Chicago to get their stuff. They knew they were coming back here. They knew that poop was going to hit the fan really bad Monday night. So they went back to Chicago and got all their equipment and closed out their hotel where they were. I have been in contact with CJ via text. Him and I exchanged phone numbers and we've been talking to each other back and forth. We offered them to come eat and stay with us if they needed a place to stay, but they had the funds to stay somewhere, thankfully. So a lot of people in town know CJ like their brother now. He's been here and he's a hero in our town right now. He really is a hero and we loved him, and I think he should be like given the key to the city of Kenosha, quite frankly. That's my opinion, and there's more on that. But so Monday afternoon, actually, about 3 o'clock, we find out that there's a march here. And so we went online, and this is where I found Reggie Incognito. I'm actually going to somehow share their links with you. So if you haven't seen what's been going on here, you can watch it when they filmed it live. They're hours and hours long, especially the one from Monday night from Reggie. It's like 7 hours, if not 9 hours long, because this is how long this went into the night. It started early in the afternoon. They were blocking the streets. And this is where I want to come in and start telling you about how Black Lives Matter operates. I think it's really important that people understand that this is not about the Black people. I just want you to be very, very aware that Black Lives Matter is not about Black people. It is not about justice. It is not about, it's not about the people. It's a political movement. It's a highly funded organization. It is one of the most highly funded organizations on the planet right now. Billions and billions and billions of dollars have been flooded into Black Lives Matter organization after George Floyd, and they are highly funded. And I saw it all. And I'm telling you that if you go to Reggie Incognito, I wish I could post it in here real quick. Maybe I can. Just hang on a second real quick. I might be able to do that if you can bear with me. I'll try to keep talking as I'm going. This is, I don't know if you can read it. It's Reggie, and it's Incognito. Kenosha, Wisconsin, protest for Jacob Blake turns into rioting and looting. This is, it says it's from 2 days ago. It was on Monday. Okay, so I'm just gonna write his name in the comments real quick. Okay, so bear with me. I'm just gonna write his name, because if you have the time to look at this, right, did you guys get it? Okay, Red Incognito. And he did a great job filming. Like, at first, he is totally behind Black Lives Matter in the beginning. His tune changed yesterday. It was really cool to see Reg grow. We've been watching him for the past 4 days. We watched him on Monday, Tuesday, last night. And last night, I think he was a little disappointed in the movement. He actually got shot. He was injured. He was terrorized by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and he really laid low last night. And he made it very clear that what was going on was not a good thing, but he stuck with it. And so I actually donated to him, because the first night I hated this guy. He was all about, yeah, it's going to go down now, guys. Woo! You know, and he's like really cheering this thing on. He's waiting for destruction. He's like talking all about how this is going to be a battle, and he couldn't wait. But he was on the front lines. He was right at the beginning of Black Lives Matter, like at the front line where most people don't see it. They don't. And the media is never, ever going to show you this. Never. So I highly recommend that you go to Reg and you watch that video. I would say go to around the 4.5 hour mark. At the 5 hour mark, and I wrote the number down, at 5 hours, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds, we get to see a lot of the other organizations that are there. Okay. So what happens is they have these cars, and they're very nice, expensive cars, by the way. They all gather around these protesters. They have motorcycles and kids on bicycles. And I wouldn't say kids. They look like kids, so that they look incognito in this atmosphere. So the kids on bikes, they go forward, they go before even the cars. And these kids on bikes, guys on bikes, whatever, they go to scope out the area. And they come back, and you'll see at that 5 hour, 2 minute mark, these kids coming and saying, they've got this, they've got that, this is what's going on over here. And what they do is they have this whole thing organized where all these cars are in front, in back, on the side. They have motorcycles, and they plot everything. They plot where they have medics. They have medical supplies. They have water. They have food. They are highly, highly organized, you guys. And then they have all these stops. So these stops, these cars, okay. All right. Let me try to get through this. Their march is not a march. Plain and simple, it is not a march. They are quite literally scoping out the town of where they can loot, fire, terrorize communities. So what they did is they did a circle around our main strip of 52nd Street and 60th Street. Then they went up these streets up to 22nd, all the way down to Sheridan Road, which is by the lake. So Sheridan Road is east. Anything going up is a number moving upwards. So 1st Street, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all the way up to 22nd is where they went. It goes the opposite way when you're going north to south. North numbers get bigger, south, north gets smaller, south gets bigger. So they were between 52nd, 60th, and like 1st Avenue to 22nd Avenue. Okay, so this is the square. It's not a circle. It's really like a square that they're going around because Kenosha's got a really good city grid. It's beautiful, like nothing else in the world I've seen. They went around it twice during the day. And what they do is they stop at the intersections and block traffic. Now, they're not harassing anybody at this point, just so you know. It looks like a peaceful protest, but all they're doing is they're scoping out your neighborhoods. They're scoping out locations where they can gather later in the evening when the sun goes down and curfew's set. And they know when curfew is. They know everything going on. Trust me, they are highly funded. They have got the means that none of us have. And so they didn't know where they were going. And that's how I knew they weren't from here. These people were not from my city. They were not protesting from, within our streets. These were people that didn't know where they were. And you could tell because when they'd get to a block, they'd look around, they'd get on their GPS and they'd look at the signs. And that's how they communicated with one another on GPS. They track each other. All right, they're tracking. And then they track where they are and what they're going to do and what their next moves are. And they are plotting and planning where to meet up at night, where to park the cars, and they get in there early. They know what they're doing. So when they go through these areas, they start planting the cars everywhere. Thousands of them, hundreds of them, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of them. And they're parked all over the city. And they wait till nightfall. And then they come out. And I'm sorry, but they come out like cockroaches, I am in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I don't know if you can share my video. You can try. Please try. Thank you. Yeah, Chippy. Yeah. Okay. And that's why, and this is why I had to go live. This is why I had to tell this story, because people need to know how Black Lives Matter moves and operates. And it's hard to break down a highly funded organization like this that is militant. These people are militant. They know what they're doing. So as I'm saying, okay, so the march during the day is not a march. It is an opportunity for them to plot their cars throughout the evening, to plot and plan what the next step will be once the sun goes down, because that's when everything hits the fan, is when the sun goes down. I really highly suggest you watch Reg Incognito at that. I would actually go before. I would even go to like the 4:30 mark, the 4 hour and 30 mark. Oh, see, we're gonna get, and here we go. We got Black Lives Matter people trying to come in. That's all right. Exactly. They're not, though. Some people are peacefully protesting, see that? But they're not protesting. They're scoping out our city. And here's the problem with us anti-Black Lives Matter people. Generalizing everybody. I'm not generalizing everybody. I'm trying to tell you that these people are not from my city. Plain and simple. And I'll tell you that. He's on YouTube, Jennifer. Okay. So I don't know. There's some conversation. I'm going to try to ignore the conversation going on in here because I think it's going to get ugly. So just be prepared for that, because we have somebody in here who is defending Black Lives Matter and I'm not. I'm not going to defend Black Lives Matter. They're a scumbag organization that just terrorizes our town. The problem with that is that people get behind Black Lives Matter thinking that this is a positive movement for the Black community. It's not. They don't care about the Black community. They don't care about anybody but destruction. All they care about is destroying your town. Yours. It's not theirs. They're going to march around your streets and go, whose streets are these? Our streets, our streets. And there's not one single person from your city there screaming this is their streets. See, I'm going to get pissed off here because that's crazy. I'm not generalizing the whole group. I just got done saying that, all right? I am trying to say that Black Lives Matter is a well-funded terrorist organization, and I saw it with my own two eyes, all right? I'm telling you this. That's why I'm on here. And that's why I just got done saying that people get behind the Black Lives movement because they think it's a positive thing. Who doesn't want to say Black Lives Matter? I want to say Black Lives Matter. I believe Black Lives Matter. But I don't believe in what the organization is doing. They aren't. No. And that's what I'm saying. The organization itself is a terrorist group, not the people who support it. The people who support it don't even know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're, okay, so I'm going to tell you that. And that's how I know this. So they're marching through our streets Monday afternoon. They don't know where they're going. They go downtown because now they're scoping downtown because that's where all the businesses are. So they go downtown and they see it's all boarded up. And Reggie says, oh man, they were prepared. They knew we were coming. All of them, they were all boarded up from top to bottom because the night before they had come in and pretty much destroyed all of the businesses downtown. They looted a few places, but just knocked out the windows of others. But then they went through a very rich neighborhood that's off of the downtown area, and they were screaming and chanting. And so now I notice things are starting to pick up. More and more people are starting to gather together. You don't know where they're coming from. See, and this is what I told you. They first went around, they mapped out the area, and before you know it, you've got thousands of people just out of nowhere. They just come out of nowhere, and they're not coming from the neighborhoods. And I'll tell you why I know that. Because the people in the neighborhoods are outside watching it. They're just standing in their yard watching it, clapping. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Woo! Well, they don't know that in a few hours, they're going to burn your town to the ground. That's what was so disturbing to me, is watching these people in the neighborhoods going, woo! Yeah! You know, like, ugh. And I get it. And that's what I'm saying. Why would you not want to support Black lives? We do. I want to support Black lives. I want to support police lives. I want to support white lives. I want to support Latino lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyways, these groups, now we're getting to the point where I'm going to start telling you that this is not just Black Lives Matter. All right. This is Black Lives Matter. SDS, which is a socialist kids group. They're a bunch of teenagers for socialist democracy. FRSO, I don't know who they are. You have people from ACLU, the Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repressions. So keep in mind, this isn't just Black Lives Matter. These are all these organizations. I'm completely ignoring the comments. So just if you're trying to taunt me, I'm not even reading them. So there. That's all I got to say. So now, like I said, they have the kids on the bikes that go forward, and they go down the certain streets, and they try to see what's the best way that they need to go. Then you have the motorcycles that go even further. Then they come back and they tell the leaders on the front line which way to go, what's down there, what's not down there. Are there police down there? You know, stores that you can connect with, you know, vandalize, whatever. So this is highly funded. Now what you see as nighttime starts to fall, as the sun starts to go down, the cockroaches come out. And I am talking, these are cockroaches. You have never seen evil I if you want to see what evil looks like, go to the 5-hour, 2-minute mark of Reg Incognito's video. Go a little bit before that if you can, when they start gathering down 60th Street. Once they get down 60th Street, this is on Monday evening, they stop. They're there to stop and regroup, to make their plans, to get ready for the destruction. They sit and wait and wait and wait. So there's a lot of waiting time, but this is where you want to start watching, because this is where you're going to start seeing all the plans and the strategies being made. So once they get those strategies in plan, and they see that all their other groups and all the people that were planning on coming into the city are there, and they know it, and they're all communicating with each other via cell phone and whatever, now all of a sudden you see 10,000 people. Now CJ's in the crowd too. Now at this point, we're watching 3 different feeds. We're watching Reg, we're watching CJ, we're watching Andrew. And before you know it, CJ's talking to people going, hey, are you from Kenosha? Are you here to protest? They're like, no, I'm not from here. Everyone that he talked to, not one single person was from Kenosha. No one. So that's another interesting fact about Black Lives Matter. So now what's going to happen at this 5-hour mark is you're going to start seeing rifles. You're going to start seeing Black Lives Matter carrying rifles out in the open. You're going to see militant guys with all their weapons just all over them. They're draped in weapons. And you'll see people carrying pistols, carrying guns. They are terrorizing the neighborhoods. They're terrorizing the people now at this point. So now what they do is they move a little bit forward, and they meet up with all those groups that have been parked on the sides of the roads. So let me tell you this, if Black Lives Matter or any of these groups come to your hometown, look for those cars. They're very, very expensive cars. They are not pieces of crap. There's Audis, there's these Escalade SUVs, everything that you could imagine, luxury cars. That's Black Lives Matter. They're also going to have blacked out license plates because they don't want to be tagged. So if you see those in your neighborhood, call the police. Call the police. Call the FBI. I don't care what you do, just call, because they are plotting and planning the destruction of your town. So once you see that, you know that your town's going to be burned. And they line up in these back roads. See, they went to a very poor part of town, and this is where they all gathered. They kind of planned this out like, all right, there's these side roads down here that are kind of black, kind of dark. We can hide our cars in this area because it really doesn't go anywhere. So they were looking for those things earlier in the day as they're marching through the town. And as they do that, then all those cars that are coming in from all different states, they came, well, we had a lot from our state. We had Madison, Milwaukee, and then we had Chicago come in. We had Minnesota people coming in. And what they do is they wait for them all to get there. They are a well-oiled machine, let me tell you. And once they start parking down those side streets, that's when and they meet up, the group, those marches, those protesters. Yeah. Once they all meet together, they will sit there for the longest time and map things out. Monday night, they knew that there was opposition. And so they had to reorganize their original plan. And that's how they kind of got caught a little bit, because they had drones. We had a lot of drones going on. We did not have the feds here. We had okay, my husband just wrote me a note. So where was I? Okay, so they are the National Guard was here. Our stupid governor, who is a piece of crap, he told the National Guard to stand down. Yesterday, he actually was quoted as saying that the National Guard was not here to protect the businesses or the communities, but to make sure that the protesters could voice their anger and frustration. They were there to protect them, not the community. And our community burned to the ground. 60th Street was a war zone. Almost every single business for a half a mile was burned to the ground. Then they took to our uptown area, which is no longer. And uptown was in a very low income neighborhood, very, very poor neighborhood. That's where people shopped. That's where people went to go get their hair done, to have their food, to go to the thrift store. There was a big Salvation Army there store. There was the Family Dollar. There was a bakery store there, a Mexican baker, a Mexican food store. They had Black-owned businesses like beauty shops and nails, cell phone shops, thrift stores. They're all gone. And I don't mean like it's burned. I mean the roofs are gone, the windows are gone. You can look at it and it's completely see-through. You see the sky. There is nothing. It is demolished. There's nothing there anymore. That's what Black Lives Matter did to our city. They wiped out the poor communities. That's what they do. They killed people, they killed animals, they were burning buildings with people in them that lived upstairs of these businesses. Now those people don't have anywhere to live. So they were talking last night, they went back into that community, CJA went back into that community last night, and the Black community says they don't stand by Black Lives Matter. They don't agree with it because they came in and tore their community down. They burned it down. They burned their homes, their businesses. Those were Black businesses. They're done. So don't tell me Black Lives Matter cares about Black people when you specifically target the Black communities to go in and burn. And you have, now here's the other thing that really gets me. I don't believe in guns. I don't. And we know like the liberals are anti-gun too, right? I'm going to do something with this guy here if I can. I'm going to try to, if we could block him. He's an idiot. I don't know how to block him, but whatever. So these people are anti-gun, right? I mean, this is what Biden's all about. We're going to take away your weapons, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if you look at Black Lives Matter, they are weaponized. They are full frontal, out in the open rifles, pistols, weapons, grenades, Molotov cocktails, all lined up in their suits. They're ready to burn it down. They're ready to terrorize your community. I think what I'm going to do, just bear with me, you guys, real quick. I'm wondering if I can get on here real quick on my phone. See, I'm live. Look it, I'm live. See, I'm live. Look it, I'm live. I'm talking to myself now. I'm live. Look it, I'm live. I'm talking to myself. I'm live. Whoa, I better get out of there. Okay, I don't want to listen to myself do that. All right. Yeah, I'm psycho. That's good. I'm not going to pay attention to you anyway. Okay, so these are liberals who are anti-gun, right? Yet they're sporting guns, they're walking through your neighborhoods, and they're terrorizing your community with guns. They aren't hiding it. They don't have it in their little, what do you call it? Their little, what do you call it? You put your gun in. See, I don't, because I'm not a gun person. Your holster? No, man, they're carrying it right out in the open, and they're swinging it around, and they got it in their hand, and they're ready for anything. So I just find it really interesting and ironic that the very people who don't want violence are the ones who are creating the violence, are the ones who are carrying the guns and threatening an entire community. Black Lives Matter kills people. Yes, they do. For those of you who are on here claiming that I'm psycho because Black Lives Matter doesn't kill people. Let's talk about the 13 people that were murdered by Black Lives Matter in Minnesota. We don't want to talk about that though, right? We don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. That's okay. I don't care. I'm not going to get in an argument with anybody on this chat. I'm not going to even acknowledge your bullshit, stupid comments because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to warn communities about people like you. That's all. Okay. And so let's move on now to why these things are happening and how they get away with it. Because the police don't do a damn thing about these protesters. Okay, they're not protesters. About these terrorists. Let's just get that clear. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, SDS, FRSO, NCAA, ACLU, Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repressions. Huh? Oh, is it NCAAC? What? Whatever. They were here in town today. Jesse Jackson, that piece of shit, was here today, enticing more race wars. Yeah, get out there and, we're not going to stop until this ends. Well, guess what? It's not going to end as long as criminals keep committing crimes and resisting arrest. Plain and simple. It's not going to end. Parents, teach your children not to resist arrest, not to wield a knife at the cops, or tell them that you're going to get your weapon in a car, because that's what Jacob Blake did. I don't feel sorry for Jacob Blake. I don't. And I won't. And nothing anyone can say will make me feel that way. I feel sorry for George Floyd, but I only feel sorry for George Floyd because he committed suicide. He was overdosing. We just found out. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm just not going to go there. You guys can do your own research on George Floyd and the recent information that just came out, because that cop is getting off, plain and simple. He basically committed suicide. The fentanyl in his system was so high that he was going to die anyway, which is why he couldn't breathe. All right, so let's talk about how they get away with doing this. These are liberal cities. All of these places are liberal cities. Minnesota, Portland, Seattle, New York City, and now my hometown. My hometown is run by a liberal mayor and a liberal governor. They protect these people. They let them do it. They tell the police to stand down when anything is happening. When they start burning things down, they're told, don't do anything. They actually even heard it over the police scanner. Stand down. Just let them do what they're going to do. I'm going to do something really quick here. Bear with me here for a second. There we go. Okay, I'm turning off the chat on my end, so I can't even see it. So for those of you who are here to actually know what's going on in my city, just so you know, don't even bother going into the comments because I'm not going to read them. I turned it off on my end, so I can't even see them. So, bye. Okay. So these are liberal cities. They're letting these people get away with it. We had Trump actually offer from day one for the feds to come here in town. And Governor Evers, who is a complete dipshit, said no. But hey, while I got you on the phone, can you please give me some federal money for COVID? So, well, that's true. That has been recorded. That is exactly what he said. He also enticed all of this racial baiting 2 hours after the shooting of Jacob Blake. He actually, pretty much said, this just happens all the time. Another mercilessly Black man killed at the hands of police officers. Yet, that's not what happened. And I already told you earlier the truth of what happened, and the media will not tell you the things that I'm telling you. And the things that you will see from Reg Incognito, from CJ, and from Mikado Media. They are not going to show that. They are not going to tell you. In fact, today, they just discovered that, yes, he did have a weapon, and he was going for the weapon. But yet, in the news, in the Milwaukee Journal, the headline was, evidence shows that Blake had a knife, but other than that, he was unarmed. See, that's the narrative that they want to give you. That although he had a weapon, he was unarmed. That's bullshit. That's an oxymoron. Yeah. Okay, so we had a lot of stuff going on here yesterday, and my husband's giving me new information as I'm doing this. We had several buses that came from out of town yesterday. They were black. They were parked around town, and the feds finally came because the citizens of Kenosha and Wisconsin were sick of Evers just turning down Trump's offer of federal help. And so finally, Evers took Trump's offer and the feds came in. What time did they finally get here? It was probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They were not messing around.
We found out that chances are.
Yeah, they could have gotten here earlier than what we know of, but they were all over town and they were pulling over people. They were at gunpoint, just taking people, and it was pretty cool to see. There were a lot of videos. In fact, I have one I'm going to show you. I'll show you that video here. Just bear with me. Again, I gotta get my old lady glasses on so I can see. Huh? I'm sure he did. I don't give a crap what this guy thinks. I'm not about people like that. All right, so I'm going to show you the bus. You can see the bus here, and I'll read what it says. 15 detained at Speedway on Washington, old UPS truck, and a blacked school bus filling multiple gas cans from Washington State. Okay, so that's what they found yesterday. They arrested all of them. That actually was, they're arrested earlier in the day. I'm trying to find, hold on just real quick. Just bear with me. And here they come down the road. These are all the blacked out plates coming. Look how many of them there are. They're coming from out of state, out of town. These are not locals.
That's crazy. They ain't walking around. They're here.
They're here. That's right. So that's what happened there. There was another video I was going to show you. I don't know where it was and what I was going to say about that, but Jared just informed me that there was a bomb in the bus. They found a bomb inside the bus to blow up 10 city blocks. Thank God the feds came, because without the feds, none of them our town would be gone. Our town would be completely wiped out, because they were planning a massive attack on our city yesterday. Thank God Evers, and I'm not going to give him credit because it's Trump. It was the feds that came in all day long looking for these blacked out plates. They were all over the city, just busting people left and right. That's what I was going to show you. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that one. I want to show you that one because that was a really good one. Here it is. The feds just pulled him over. Look at this shit. Yeah! Trump 2020, baby. Oh, yeah. Going down. Makes my heart happy. There. That's what the feds did yesterday. Then, if you watch Reg from yesterday, Reg is really, really tired. He's wore out. He got shot the night before, and he is disillusioned now by Black Lives Matter and Antifa. And you can hear it in his voice. He's upset. He's angry by what he saw and how they treated him. I'm not sure who shot him, but I have a feeling it was somebody on the side that he was for, because he was completely disillusioned with them last night and not very enthusiastic like he was the first night. Looking for a battle, looking for a fight. He really, I felt bad for him. And so I did donate to him, and we watched him every single night, and we watched him grow. We watched him evolve, and we watched him realize before our very eyes what was really happening. That was the same thing with CJ and Andrew. CJ is a hero in our town. The night that all the fires took place, which was Monday night, and 60th Street was just ablaze, this guy was trying to put out fires. And then he was running neighborhoods, or the houses that were next to these businesses burning, and yelling, get out, you know, tell your neighbor, get out of your house before it catches on fire. So he was helping, trying to put out a fire. And then I think Tuesday night, he saved a flag from being burned and gave it back to the city. And now he's taking all of his donations and he's trying to give it back to the businesses here in Kenosha that were burned to the ground by people. He does not agree with riots, but he's there to film it and document it for you to see what's really going on and to get the voice of the people, really. And he had a very diverse group of people that were talking all night. Now, yesterday afternoon, Reg actually got the feds catching the leaders. You were actually catching the feds were tracking all these Black Lives Matters and all these other organizations, their leaders, and arresting them. And they were back down at the courthouse. Reg was back down at the courthouse, and there was a big U-Haul there. And before we knew it, we saw the feds with these guns. Like, whoa, I've never seen guns like this before in my life. Like, I don't even know what the heck they were. They were crazy guns. And they had one guy under arrest. They had him handcuffs. They went through the U-Haul, and before you know it, they were towing that U-Haul away. I thought that they were using the U-Haul as a paddy wagon, because I was like, where the hell are all the paddy wagons? But then we found out later that it was all of the supplies for Black Lives Matter. Bye-bye. So everything was pretty much just ripped at the seams from that point on for Black Lives Matter. Their little group was confused. They had no idea what to do, where to go. It was very, very quiet for a very long time. And I can back that. At that point, I was like, I can do that. I can back that. I can support that. I understand your frustration and how you think you feel. And and whatnot. I'm going to take a drink real quick here. Can you get me some more ice, please? Since you didn't get me ice. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, I am old. I'm not gonna lie. I got what I was saying. So they had a barbecue group out there that was handing out free food. I loved that. I was like, that is a protest I can get behind.
Peaceful till Black Lives Matter got it.
Yeah, these were peaceful people last night. Black Lives Matter was completely out of it. The organization of Black Lives Matter. I won't say that the people that were there weren't for Black Lives Matter, but the organization and leadership was not there to hone in the agitation and the frustration and the anger and the violence. And so it was a beautiful thing to watch last night, actually. I highly recommend that you watch Reg from last night, because they were all standing around and talking and sharing stories and sharing experiences, and it was beautiful. And I really felt like, this is awesome, this is good, these are the things that we need to see. And when CJ arrived, he actually just started interviewing people and wanted to get their voices heard, and that's what he said. I want your voices to be heard. So if you're willing to talk to the camera, please do. And so there were a lot of different sides. So where people like, I hate this, I don't believe in this violence, but I get it, I get the frustration, I get the anger. So I totally understood that, and I thought it was a beautiful moment to be able to watch my community. At this point, this is my community. I know these are my people. This is my city. These are citizens of my city that are talking, that are sharing, that are, the barbecue place is so good. His food is so good. And so he went down there, like, I got chill bumps. You guys, like, I got chill bumps. He's down there handing out food to all these people. It was beautiful. That's what my city's about. That is Kenosha. That is my city.
Black Lives comes into this town and destroys it.
Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with my city. That was my city. That's how we react in the city. We love one another. We listen to one another. We share. We are not violent people. There are some violent people. Jacob Blake was a violent man. He was. Like, who puts your kids in danger? Like, why was he there? He wasn't supposed to be there. And he drives his children in a hostile environment with a weapon in the car. And then draws the police officers to his car where his children are. Can we not let that sink in? He was child abuse. How do you put your children in that situation and everybody thinks that's okay? It's not okay.
Those kids' Blacks' lives matter.
Yeah. Those Black Lives matter. Those are the Black lives that matter. Those children that he endangered. Jacob Blake endangered his children. He endangered his mother. He endangered those women. He endangered everyone in that community. And yet everyone wants to hail this guy as some good Samaritan just trying to break up a fight. No, that's not what happened. All right. I'm going to move on to Trump's America, because we're hearing that a lot now about Trump's America, that this is Trump's America. This is not Trump's America. This is Biden's America, plain and simple, because we know Black Lives Matter, the organization, funds the liberal politicians. And billions of dollars is being funneled into Biden's campaign, which I find funny, since, Kamala Harris and Biden are anti-gun, and yet Black Lives Matter is sporting rifles and pistols all over wherever they go and terrorizing towns, and we're all right with that. That is not Trump's America, people. That is not Trump's vision for America. Trump tried to squash this bug on Sunday, and Evers said no. Monday, no. Tuesday, okay, because my citizens are getting pissed and they want to impeach me. That's what it came down to, because we were all calling for his head and we were all saying, we're going to go protest at your house, Tony Evers. We're coming to your house now. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, he's accepting Trump's support. So this is not Trump's America, far from it. This has nothing to do with Trump. And those people who are involved in this are saying this is all Trump's fault. Trump has to do with any of this. This is our local government. This is your mayor. This is your state representatives. This is your stupid liberal governors. Everywhere we look where these things are happening and taking place, they're all liberal. They're all liberal run, liberal governors, liberal mayors. Come on, look it up. Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, New York City, Kenosha, Wisconsin, right where I am. Liberals. They're liberal run. So don't blame Trump. He has nothing to do with your liberal government and your liberal politicians that allow these organizations to come in and destroy your city, your neighborhoods, your communities, your businesses. All Black, by the way. Let's keep in mind that a lot of these businesses were Black-owned businesses. Where are all you Black Lives Matter people in here? Where are you? When Black Lives Matter goes and burns down Black communities, where are you? I don't have your chat up because I don't want to hear your bullshit lies and your excuses of why you think this is all okay. Because one Black life, Jacob Blake, is not worth all of this. I don't give a crap. His life was not worth all of the lives that were destroyed. All the animals that were burned in buildings because they were so scared they went and hid and their owners couldn't find them. All the children that now don't have places to sleep. That lives matter. That is your Black Lives Matter. Displacing Black people out of their homes, out of their businesses. That's your Black lives. That's your Black lives. Cheers to your Black Lives Matter. Taking away Black homes and Black businesses. Mm-hmm. Cheers to that, Black Lives Matter supporters. I don't understand how anyone can get behind an organization that does that to the low-income communities, because that's where they're going. Those are the communities they're destroying. Okay, so the other thing that I saw is that in these Black Lives marches, they don't even talk about Jacob Blake. They barely even know his name. Okay? These are not marches for Black lives. Plain and simple. Close the camps. Close the camps. Oh, are you talking about the concentration cages that Obama built in 2014? Are those the ones you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Close the camps. Justice for the three. White privilege and F Trump. Very rarely did you hear Jacob Blake's name. This is what democracy looks like. You'll hear that over and over again. Black Lives Matter, as we burn Black Lives homes and businesses down. Black Lives Matter, but they don't matter to these people. They matter to me because that's my community. Those are my people. Those are the ones that we go shopping, that we go to give our business to. Those are my people. I lived in the area that they burned down to the ground. I lived in that neighborhood. I lived a block away.
A buddy of mine actually lived just a house.
They burned down the Pizza Hut in that neighborhood. See? Now, I'll tell you what, those businesses aren't coming back. They're not. They can't. COVID pretty much killed our community that was already struggling, that had been struggling when American Motors and Chrysler left our city. It took a long, long time for my city to rebuild economically. And then COVID hit. The economy here was amazing, thanks to Scott Walker, a Republican governor, who basically put us back in the black, meaning our state was no longer in debt. And he told businesses, Wisconsin is open for business. And guess where a lot of businesses came? To Kenosha. To Kenosha. Kenosha was starting to see a financial boom. Like, seriously. Yeah, we have Amazon here. And let's keep in mind that Amazon was waiting for Trump to win. You know why? Because he knows that Trump's a businessman. And he knows that Trump was going to do good things for business in this country. So now we have COVID. COVID hits. And what does our stupid governor want to do? He wants to keep us on lockdown. And fortunately, we had the Republican legislation fight him on it, and we won. But then when that didn't work, he decided he was going to put the mandatory masks on us. And now you can't go anywhere without having a mask on. It doesn't even matter if you're exempt from it or not. You have to wear a mask. And that's all this guy cares about. That's it. You know, he's talking about saving lives. You know, he's so afraid of COVID, but yet he doesn't give a crap about the lives here in Kenosha and all the businesses that are going to be lost and how there's billions and billions of dollars of damages in our city. Forget that. But let's worry about wearing masks. All right. I think I'm going to move on. I just want you to know that Jesse Jackson was here this morning. Ugh. The NCAA CP was here today, enticing more race riots tonight, tomorrow, forever, because of Kyle. I'm going to end on Kyle, the 17-year-old kid. All right, I have conflicted feelings about Kyle. I'm not a gun person at all. Kyle is a good kid, and he's a kid. He's a good kid. He was here, he shot them on Tuesday night, right? No. I can't remember what night it was. Might have been Tuesday, because Tuesday they started burning different areas. They were burning a car lot in front of the hospital where this happened. And fortunately, they were able to take him to the hospital right away. But so Kyle is from Illinois. He's 17. There's my beef. He's got a rifle. There's my other beef. I don't believe that any kid should have a gun, period. I don't think he should have been here, but his heart was here. So I'm conflicted by this, all right? I'm very conflicted about Kyle, because he came here with really good intentions to help our community. He knew we were in trouble, and he knew that Evers was not helping any by allowing the National Guard do their job or having the feds come in. So Kyle was here earlier in the day washing off the graffiti of our historical buildings here. And if you see him in one of the videos, you'll see that he is an EMT. He was trained as an EMT. And when one of the protesters actually got hurt, he helped the protester. He said, I'm an EMT, let me help. And he helped. So he was under attack. He was attacked by several people with guns, and we do have proof of that as well. That you can look up Ben Shapiro from today. You'll be able to see the videos. CJ actually had it on video, but his was taken down from Facebook by the FBI for investigation. So for those of you who want to go out and protest against Kyle in my city and claim no justice, no peace, again, I say that to you because the FBI is investigating this. You cannot expect justice to be you're in prison forever. That's not how from the second it happened, you're just in prison and now it's over, because that's not how our justice system works. If you are saying no justice, no peace, then allow the justice system to do its job. Allow the justice to work. Allow the facts to come out. Allow these organizations and these departments to do their investigations. But you don't go and burn down a town based on false evidence that you don't know what's going on. Same with Kyle. Everybody's calling him a vigilante and a white supremacist. No, he's not a white supremacist. He's a kid who was helping a community and got attacked by protesters. One with a gun pointed at him. Oh, but he shouldn't have protected himself or defended himself? What was going to happen to him? Again, I'm torn about Kyle. It's a tough situation, but for me, when you're screaming no justice, no peace, wait until you find out what the justice is deciding before you decide that a community can't have peace. Because a community like ours deserves peace. We had nothing to do with the situation. Jacob Blake was a felon. He was a rapist. He put his children in danger. He put his community in danger that day by resisting arrest. He put everyone that was around him at risk. And we're all right with that? We're going to say that's okay? He was the problem, not the police officer. He was the problem. He was the problem. I'm going to drill that in your head because the media will tell you differently. Good Samaritan trying to break up a fight between two girls. Lies, 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 lies. Listen to the police scanner.
In fact, there wasn't a fight.
Yeah, there wasn't even a fight between two girls. There was a fight between him and one of the girls. That is a fact. That's on the police scanner. That's what the girl called in. And I'm going to assume that the domestic violence charge against him was from this woman because the police scanner says he's not supposed to be there. Because if you have a domestic violence, and I know this, if you have a domestic violence charge, you have an automatic restraining order, period. Okay? And this just happened in July. Okay, all this stuff. He has a warrant out from just a few weeks ago. And you're going to hear people say, no, he did not. No, he didn't have a warrant out. But then you go to CCAPS and you see, oh, yeah, he did. Well, it was never filed. Bullshit. Because when the police dispatcher is on there, she says he has an active warrant out for his arrest. He knows he's being arrested. He knows he's going to jail for rape because that's what his charge was. That's what his warrant was out for. So back to Kyle, and I'm going to end it there. I feel bad for this kid. He did turn himself in. If you don't know that, that is a fact. He called 911 and said, I shot somebody. Please help. Please come help me. And he turned himself in, you guys. Like, he knows that whatever happened shouldn't have happened. And there's footage of him being attacked from all sides all night, just trying to protect somebody's business. And I'm not saying what he did was right. He was a scared kid being attacked, and he shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. That's all I'm going to say. He shouldn't have even been there. He shouldn't have even been there. I understand that the People's Militia or Kenosha Guard that were out there, they were equipped for this. This kid was not. But he will get off. He is not going to face murder charges at all, and I don't care what anybody says. He's not going to face murder charges. He will probably be charged with underage having a gun. That's probably what's going to happen. And I feel sorry for him. He really wanted to do good, and he got caught in the crossfire, and he's going to have to live with the decision that he had to make for the rest of his life. And so will the cop for Jacob Blake. And I will get back to that just to end it, is that 7 shots was unnecessary. I do agree with that. But we have to keep in mind that when you're in these intense situations, anybody is going to overreact. And we saw that from Kyle overreacting. We saw that from the cop overreacting. We see that when cops' lives are in danger, they react because they are in danger. Because whether you want to believe it or not, there are more police that are killed in the line of duty than there are Black or white men killed by police. 6 times more. Their lives are in danger too, and their lives matter. All of our lives matter. But the problem is that we can't keep protecting criminals. We can't keep making criminals heroes. They're not. We can't keep protecting and destroying cities over criminals who resist arrest. This isn't right. If you don't want Black people to be killed by the cops, then teach your children not to resist arrest. Teach them to listen and follow instructions by the police. But we're seeing more and more that Black people are getting a little cocky. They're thinking, you know what? I'm just going to resist arrest. I'm just going to be a jerk. I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to get my weapon. I'm going to steal the cop's weapon like we saw in Atlanta. Why? Why are you doing, if you're so afraid of your life from cops, if you're a Black man and you're afraid for your life from a cop, why are you going to instigate a cop shooting you? Like, it makes no sense. Like, if you're really that fearful, then just do what you're told. Comply. And then you won't die, okay? So comply, you won't die. Get the facts before you react. Those are my mottos. That's it. Write it down. Send it out. Make a meme. I don't care. Okay, guys. You just really need to know what Black Lives Matter is all about and how Jesse Jackson was here this morning enticing more race riots tonight. Even though they claim that they want peaceful protests, you know from the way that they're talking, that is not what they want. That's what they have to say. What's going to happen tonight, I have no idea. I have no idea, but if Jesse Jackson is here and they were instigating this crap, we're probably going to have a pretty bad night again. It's probably going to be bad for the next several nights. So I'll just have to wait and see how that goes. I just want to thank all of you who have been joining me here. I hope you learned something. For those of you who stuck with me, I hope that you learned something about Black Lives Matter, how they operate, how they're a domestic terrorist group. That's it. They are a domestic terrorist group. Now, again, someone else said in the comments earlier, because I turned them off on my end, that not everybody is a terrorist in Black Lives Matter. I do agree with that. I will get down with that. But the organization itself that I saw on Monday, that is a terrorist group. And I've never seen evil like this before in my life. And I had the images in my head of these people and their evil was haunting. It haunts me. Their faces, their body language, the guns, the language, the movement, the cars, the bikes, the fires. I'll never get those images out of my head. I am never, ever going to not be able to see that. And I suffer from anxiety, and I had numerous panic attacks Tuesday morning. Yesterday, was it yesterday that Black Lives Matter was down our road? Are you sure? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so today's Thursday, so Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday, I because I was in such a panic, I decided I just wasn't going to listen to the news. I wasn't going to watch the live streams. I wasn't going to listen to the police scanner. But then a friend of mine called me and said, Black Lives Matter is right down the street from you. And this was like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And my heart fell. They had been driving around all over town, but fortunately, the police had been following them. They were all unmarked cars. They were all over town, just scoping out the city. The rumor was they were going to hit schools. They were going to burn schools and communities in the neighborhoods in those neighborhoods. So a lot of people evacuated Tuesday. A lot of people left the city. And we didn't, because we were like, we're in a really good neighborhood. We're on the north side of town. There's nothing over here. But all the businesses were boarded up here. And then we found out that there were a group of cars coming. They had parked earlier at one of the grocery stores here, and they gathered it all up and they came down our road, and they were met with our neighbors with guns right down the road. So we were pretty freaking happy about that. So they didn't come back here. But my point is that when I found out they were here, I went downstairs to look outside the door, and my neighbors were outside, and one of the ladies that lives here, she's panicked. She's like, I've been having panic attacks all day. Me too. You know, we both suffer from anxiety. So this just isn't about, you know, your business being destroyed. It's not about those people. It's not just about those people too. It's about those of us here who live in this town, who are scared, who are traumatized by these events and these things that people are doing, that they're not allowing the system to work. They're not allowing for facts to be released. In fact, they're going to cover it up. They're going to hide it. They're going to keep using the original video as their evidence to destroy everything, rather than listening to the facts and the new information that keeps coming out every day. They're going to gloss over that. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They do not care about the truth, the facts, what really went down. They don't. I'm still hearing people say that Jacob was breaking up a fight between two girls. It's not true. But yet that's what we're hearing everywhere. The mainstream media keeps telling that story. Unarmed black man shot by a white cop. That's not how it was either. He had a knife in his hand. Can we please let people know that? But see, you people that are on here to come and talk bad about me, you will not tell the facts. You are more comfortable in your hate and in your desire to destroy our communities and our nation. Because I'm going to tell you that 10 years ago, there was no racial tension like this. Obama came in and started all this racial crap and talking bad about white people and telling people to shut up. And then you guys get all mad at Trump, who actually was supporting black businesses before he even became president. He was giving loans out to black men that couldn't get loans from banks. And you guys don't want to hear those facts. You don't want to know the truth. You are more comfortable in knowing the lies and living by those lies and being able to keep acting on those narratives that fuel the anger inside of you. And that's what's killing us. And you know what you're doing? You're causing hate from us. I don't want to hate my fellow black people. For the first time after George Floyd died, I went to Walmart and saw a black woman and was afraid of what she was going to think of me. I never even looked at people like that before. But that's what you people have done to me. And people like me. People who love everybody. You've now made us hate everybody, especially people who want to keep screaming Black Lives Matter in our face. and now want to tell us that we're all racist and we're white supremacists. If we try to protect our community, we're white supremacists, we're racists, we're Nazis. Wow. If you don't want us to hate you, then stop making it so easy, because you are creating this division and this hate and this animosity. But I'll tell you one thing good that's coming out of it. More Black people are realizing how messed up you are. And they are coming over to Trump's side and saying, I'm done with this crap. All lives matter. In fact, the other day when I went downtown after the car lot was on fire, I went down to go check out what it looked like, and the streets were full of traffic. Everybody wanted to come down the streets and see the damage that had been done. And there was a woman standing there with a sign that said, God, love, and order. And she was shaking and she had an American flag. And I went up to her and gave her a hug and told her, you're brave. You're really brave for doing this in this hostile environment. But you know what? We stood with her for a while and said, well, we would support her. Another woman walked up and said, I'll stand with you. And we had a little group there standing with this woman. And as the traffic was going by, our pictures were being taken. People were waving and saying, thank you, and we love you, and you're brave. And there was like maybe 2 people that drove by that were instigating. And a car drove by full of Black teenage girls screaming Black Lives Matter. And my instant reaction was, not tonight, it doesn't. And that was because I knew what was coming. And I knew that Black Lives Matter wasn't about Black lives. And I said, all lives matter. I screamed, all lives matter. And just as I did that, a Black man and his family was walking by. And he looked at me and he said, all lives matter. All lives matter. He was yelling it and chanting it. All lives matter. And I walked up to him and we hugged in the middle of this fiasco. So let me tell you that Black people are not pleased with Black Lives Matter. They are not pleased with what they are doing in the name of their Black community. And all you're doing is creating Trump supporters. Just so you know, you are creating Black Trump supporters. So congratulations for that, and I thank you for that. So if you're trying to rip apart our country, you're doing a good job, because you are completely taking away the people who have been liberal almost all their lives, and you're bringing them over to the side of real love, justice, and equality. And they see that. Go to TikTok and look at all the Black conservatives on there that are saying, I'm done. Over the George Floyd situation, you cannot even imagine how many Black people have become Republicans over that whole situation, over Black Lives Matter. So keep screaming Black Lives Matter, because most of Black Lives Matter are white people. And you don't think Black people can't see that? You don't think that they can see that white people are burning down their businesses and their homes? You're ignorant if you think that. And for those Black people who support Black Lives Matter, all you're doing is supporting an organization who doesn't care about you, and all they want to do is tear you down and make us enemies. And it works. We'll call each other names, and before you know it, I feel like I hate you. I don't care what color your skin is. If you believe that all these things are justifiable and they're okay, I don't like you. And I'll tell you I don't like you. And I'll tell you you're full of shit. Because it's obvious what's happening. It's obvious what Black Lives Matter is doing to our nation, to our cities. You wouldn't have Black Lives Matter even attempt to go into a Republican city and a Republican state. You know why? Because we've watched them try to do it, and they get pushed out of town real fast and don't come back. But when you have a liberal government like ours here in Kenosha, they coddle these people. They let them burn their city to the ground and then go to Trump and say, hey, we need money for an emergency because our town was burned down. Well, screw you. And I don't care. Trump should say no. Even to Kenosha, my hometown. Trump better not tell Evers that he's going to give money to rebuild Kenosha. No. That is on the liberal politician's head. This destruction is on them. They allowed it to happen. They didn't stop it. That's on them. It's not on Trump. Trump didn't do any of this. He's been trying desperately to stop it, and all these liberal mayors and governors won't do it. They won't take Trump up on the offer. We saw yesterday with just having the feds in town, how it scared the crap out of these Black Lives Matter and all these other organizations. They were scared shitless. They left. And Black Lives Matter last night had no clue what to do. They had no idea what to do. They were lost. In fact, at one point, as they were marching through town again, after one little kid who was dressed very nice, this wasn't your ghetto Black kid that came out. He was dressed really nice, very, really good looking kid, and just talking really nice and polite, but he had an opinion. And he thought that what happened to Jacob Blake was wrong. And I was totally applauding this kid. Like, okay, he was inaccurate in his information and in his facts, but he had his opinion and what he felt about it, and he has a right to that. And so before he knew it, the crowd was really quiet. They were all sitting around. They didn't know what to do for a long time. And we were like, all right, this is done. We're done. We're going to go to bed. We're going to watch TV. But the next thing you know, that kid gets a megaphone and he starts trying to direct this crowd. And he succeeds in doing it. He does. He actually is able to get the crowd together, and they start marching again through the town. And once they hit this intersection of their regular route that they've gone, they got another guy that came in there and wanted to take it over and told the group, we're going into the white neighborhoods. That's exactly what he said. We're going to go where all the businesses are and the white businesses are, and we're going to destroy them. At that point, there was utter chaos and confusion, and no one knew which way to go, what to do, because the Black Lives Matter movement leaders were not there. They were no longer there to tell these people what to do and how to do it. And there was utter chaos and confusion. And all they did all last night until like 1 o'clock in the morning is they just marched everywhere around town, screaming, banging on their drums and rattling off Black Lives Matter. But you could hear that there was completely unenthusiastic. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It was like there was no passion behind it. They didn't know what they were doing. That was just the fact of last night. Now, what'll happen tonight? I don't know. I don't really know what's happening. A lot of the live streamers that were here these past few days, they're gone. They left because they know the feds are here. And but there's also the March for Washington that's going on Friday, and a lot of them are going there. So that's why they left. So I don't think we'll have any live streams tonight unless we have someone local that's going to be doing it. But I'm just praying that the feds will be out in full force, or they have been out in full force. I don't know. My phone's been kind of going off, so that could possibly be some of the information that I'm getting. Let me just check real quick. No. So far, nothing. And typically, it's about this time that I start getting a lot of notifications from people telling me what's going on, where these things are going, and links to live streams that are happening around town. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I am going to head off here. My husband's getting ready to go to work soon, and I just really wanted to share all this information with you, and hopefully some of you who are on here, I'm sure you won't wake up if you're out here to protect Black Lives Matter and the things that they're doing. I'm sure you won't wake up. I'm sure you are very happy in your ignorance and very happy in your hate, and you're very happy to see that as a country, we're dividing, and then you can say Trump did it when that's not the truth. That's what you want, and that's what you're trying to do, and that's what you're trying to create. But I hope that by listening here today, maybe you'll see the truth, and I pray that you do. I can't see your comments. I turned them off on my side, so I don't really care, and I'm not going to read them later either. I just want you to know that I love you, even though you hate me. The hate I am getting right now from all over, just for my beliefs, it's horrible. When you wish death on my family members, something's not right in your head. Like, something's just not right here and here. This is a soul issue. You people need Jesus bad. You need the Lord, but your families, your schools, your government has taken it all away from you and told you you don't need it. Well, that's why we're seeing the kind of evil that we're seeing right now, because God is no longer welcome anywhere in your hearts. But I pray right now that whoever is listening to this, if you don't know Jesus, please, please just reach out to him and seek guidance, seek the Lord, seek love, not hate, because you keep claiming that all these movements and all these things are going out in the name of love and tolerance and equality and uh, racial justice. But all it is hate. All it is evil. And all you're doing is making more and more people hate you rather than love you, and rather than trying to build a community of equality and relationships with other races. You are preventing that from happening because Black people are starting to hate white people are starting to hate Black people, and that's not cool, man. That is not cool. That is so messed up. If you want Black people to have equality and love and respect, then show that you deserve it. Don't go out and create hate to where people look at you and that's what they see, because that's what they see. That's what the media is showing you. Hate. So how are we supposed to like one another, love one another, live together in communities and in peace if there is no peace? If you're basically saying we're not going to give you peace until there's justice. There was justice 10 years ago. There was peace. But the media has completely built up this racial war within us, and you all believe it. You all take the bait and you run with it, and you don't really see the consequences of it. The destruction, not just of our communities and families and, cities, but for you people who think that Black people should be voting liberal, you're doing a good job sending them over to our side. More and more people, more and more liberals are seeing what you're doing, the hate that is being done through these organizations, and more liberals are becoming Republicans. So if anything good is coming out of that, that's what is happening. That Trump will be reelected, and for that, I'm incredibly grateful that you have made so many liberals hate the Liberal Party that they're becoming Republicans. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you. And for those of you who have joined me, thank you. I'm going to go now, and I really do appreciate you, Jennifer. I cannot see you in my comments. I turned them off because of all the hate going on, but Jennifer, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're in the comments. I'm going to go back here and see real quick. Okay, so Queenie, oh, John, you guys, Queenie and Jennifer, thank you for your support and love and yeah. And I'm reading your comments right now, Jennifer. Geez, I really hate that you guys got all in this mess. Really, I'm so sorry, but thank you. I know you're here. I love you for that. I had to turn them off so I could just focus. Otherwise, I get caught up in that because I am a very sensitive person, as you know, and I take a lot of those things to heart. And I do take it personally, which I know I shouldn't because these people don't know me and they don't know my heart. But Juanita, thank you so much. Yes, me too. I hope that we can come together. If anybody heard what I had to say, that was my message. And, you know, I love my Black brothers and sisters, my Latino brothers and sisters. I love everybody who is not creating hate in this world. Man, thank you, ladies, so much for coming in here and taking on this fight and doing it in a loving, positive way. So I'm going to go. Jennifer, thank you. Queenie, thank you. Juanita, thank you. Let me see who else has been on here being real loving and wonderful. Let me see. Bo Mercels, I don't know who that is. God bless you, Christine, and everyone in your home. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier, but you put a blessing on my house, and thank you so much. Absolutely, Queenie. I saw your message. Jesus warned us of the signs of the last days. It's here. You're right. So much. So true. Oh, someone from Scotland, Crash McDuff. Love you. Oh, hi. I hope you're still here. If not, I'm just going through these right now. To the comments, just trying to ignore all the ones that are hate. Kyle is a hero. Kyle is a killer. I don't think he's a killer. I think he was a scared kid, but yeah, he is a hero. CJ's a hero. CJ, please, if you get to CJ TV and watch him, donate to him. You can find him on Facebook. Please donate to him because all of his donations are actually going to the businesses that were lost here in Kenosha. He's a hero in our town, really. Yes, Kenosha is liberal. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Terry says she's not gonna be watching my beauty tutorials anymore. That's good because I don't do beauty tutorials anymore. Oh, I'm a psycho too. Okay, that's good. I love how Kyle is a Trump supporter, so he's a killer, like me. Yes, I do believe that some of these liberal cities are going to turn red. Absolutely. All right. I'm a Karen. I'll take that as a compliment because my best friend is Karen and she's a wonderful, lovely, incredible human being. So there. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I wanted to just kind of read through your good comments, making sure that you guys are loved. I want you to know that you're loved. And hi, Chris. Yes. So anyway, I'm still reading. Thank you, Jennifer. I love you too. Just so you know, some of your comments are being blocked and they will be hidden and they will not be shown. So there you go. I'm pretty good at that. So anyway, all right. Chris, I love you too. Good luck tonight. Are you going back out tonight? Chris is my friend that's the bus driver. So please pray for my friend Chris. She's like in the line. She's on the front lines, guys. She is out there on the front lines and just cover her in prayer and love. She's an amazing woman because she's just like me. Thank you from the UK. Love it. Yes. Thank you so much. I love it. This is so cool. So many good people on this feed today. There were a couple bad people, but that's just how it goes. There's always going to be some trolls on these feeds, but then The majority of you are good, wonderful, lovely human beings, and I love you, and I'm sending you my prayers and my love, and thank you for watching today. And don't forget to cover Chris in prayer, CJ, Andrew, all these people who are out there on the battleground and documenting these things for you to see. They're not necessarily out there for the battle. They're there to let you see what's really going on because the media won't cover it. Okay, love you guys. I'm signing off. Take care. Bye.